Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yesterday, I tried to come on alive at 9 a.m. and it was a disaster. Nobody could chat, nobody could ask me questions, and it didn't go so well. And so I apologize for that. I tried to restart it a couple of times, but it didn't work. So I was determined to figure out. Good morning, Maria. I was determined to figure out a way to do it that works. So I did a research on YouTube and there was another way. I always say there's always solutions. I hope everyone is doing well wherever you are around the world. And today is a session where I answer any questions that you have because, in my videos, I can't answer questions live. So this is an opportunity for anyone to ask questions live. And I also want to focus sort of this conversation on the two videos that I released in the last 2 weeks, which one was a meditation on the energetic cord, and the other video was on using why we use the energetic cord break to cut toxic relationships. Good morning, Stephanie. Good evening, Tanya. I'm glad it worked today. I worked, so wouldn't have been able to attend. Yes, I'm so glad. I know. I felt like, what it was yesterday? When energetically it just didn't feel right, because what happened yesterday was I got off a call at literally at 9 a.m. yesterday, and I felt so rushed because I was in a business call for 1.5 hours before the call. So I didn't energetically really prepare myself, because usually when I come live, I always do at least a 10-15 minute meditation right before the live session to connect with the divine, to connect with my spirit guides, to connect with God. I do a meditation to clean my energy and to ask the divine to please give me the messages, allow me to become your pencil, your conduit for the messages that you want me to share with our viewers, because, it's all about messages that can help you and guide you to the highest version of yourself. So I wasn't able to do that meditation before because I was on this business call until 9 a.m. And so energetically, something was off. I was just off. And so I always say everything is a consciousness, including your computer. Your computer, you really responds based on your energy. And so the energy was completely off. And so I couldn't get on yesterday. Nothing was working. Oh, I'm so glad you love my channel, Maria. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So I want to elaborate a little bit more on the topic of this energetic cord break, which were the two videos that I had released. I don't know if any of you guys do the energetic cord meditation? Did any of you guys see the video on why we need to make an energetic cord break? If so, comment or let me know. And if you have any questions on it, let me know. But I wanted to do this live session. Good morning. Recovering in Texas. Have power now. Yes. Anne Marie. Let's do a little send M. Rodriguez our healing love and blessings for your healing. And the power is in the now. Your healing always happens in the now. So good morning, Kim. Good morning. Okay, so we're also going to send M. Rodriguez our healing love and blessings for his or her recovery, who is in Texas. So we send you our love and blessings. So going back to this topic of the energetic cord break, I wanted to elaborate today about it more. It's really important when we do that energetic cord break that we do it with the highest intentions of good and blessings for ourselves and for the other person, no matter how much that person created a toxic relationship in our lives. It's a two-way street. And the reason why you were in that toxic relationship is because your soul needed to learn lessons from that person. That's the reason. And so once you've learned the lesson, you can make that energetic cord break. But we really should do it in a way that creates a loving space, not only for ourselves, but for the other person. You're welcome. You're welcome, M. Rodriguez. So when we do this meditation on breaking that energetic cord break, and let me just review what that is about. When we do an energetic cord break, we're separating ourselves energetically from the other person. Even though we don't have any communication with them via email, via phone, via text, we don't see them anymore, we still hold on often to that energy, that their energy. We're still holding on to it. And it's hard to bring in healthy relationships when we're still holding on to some of that toxic energy from the other person. It's difficult because this body is like a vessel for light. Energy manifests as light. And so there's only so much that we could hold in this vessel. So if we're still holding on to the remnants of their energy, then we cannot bring in healthier relationships, right? So this is why we do the energetic cord break ceremony, ritual, meditation, whatever you want to call it. What is really important about doing this meditation is to give forgiveness and love to yourself and give forgiveness and love to the other person. That's really, really important. And why do we have to give forgiveness for ourselves? Because it's only when we forgive ourselves that we can forgive the other person. So we have to forgive ourselves because oftentimes when we're in toxic relationships, sometimes we feel like we had a hand in it, like we're blaming ourselves. We have shame, we have guilt, right? That we created this toxic relationship. And we want to forgive ourselves of that. We want to forgive ourselves. So that's why in the meditation, I say in the meditation, repeat after me, I forgive myself of any shame. I forgive myself of any guilt, and especially in a toxic relationship where, you've been mentally, emotionally, physically abused, let's say by a partner, sometimes you feel like there's some unconscious unworthiness feeling that maybe you deserve that. And so we have to constantly forgive ourselves for that first, because it's in clearing our energy that we can make that break. Because if we don't have a clean energy, we cannot make that break. That's why it's so important to forgive yourself. That is so critical. I did a energy healing for 1.5 hour session with an energy healer. She's out in Colorado. I live in California. And I just laid in my bed, and we weren't even on Zoom call. We weren't even on my iPhone or nothing. She did her energy healing on me, and I just laid in my bed, and she did her thing in Colorado. And, she was moving my energy, and she was, asking the divine to let go of certain energies. And 2 spirit guides came in during the session, and I got like a 6-page report from her. And there were 2 spirit guides. And one of the things that the spirit guides that she told me, she gave me an exercise to do was, Moon, you have to forgive yourself. I forgive myself of blah, 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 anything. I forgive myself of blah, 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 blah. That was one of the things. And she gave me a page of I forgiveness exercise that she wanted me to do all day, every day. She wanted me to do it every day. So the key thing is, we talk so much about forgiveness, forgiveness, forgive yourself, forgive yourself. Why? Because it is the fundamental thing that we have to do for healing. If you can't forgive yourself, you can't step into any process of healing. The forgiveness is the key, and forgiving yourself is the most important thing. And it is essential when we do the energetic cord break meditation, is to first forgive yourself. Does anybody have any comment about that or questions about that? Just write it and I will answer. So forgiveness is so essential to do that energetic cord break. Number one, forgiveness. And then you want to bring in that sense of self-worth, self-love. I love myself, right? Because you can't love others unless you love yourself. So forgiveness and loving yourself. These are two essential things in making a clean, energetic cord break with toxic relationships. Hi, Tanya. Oh, great. So, you agree with it. That's wonderful. If any of you guys have done that meditation, that energetic cord break meditation, let me know. Let me know. Share your experience. Let me know if I can improve on it, if there was a better way. So then after we've forgiven ourselves and we're able to love ourselves, now we can forgive that person. I forgive you for your abuse. I forgive you for, making me feel I'm not good enough. I forgive you for making me feel I'm less than what I truly am. You then can forgive the other person, and you're going to forgive them, and you're going to start having compassion for that other person, because it is when you start forgiving, you start having compassion, because why? Ooh, that makes sense. Clear with forgiveness, loving self before. Right. Exactly. That's right. So then you're going to forgive the other person, and you're going to start having compassion for that person, for their own journey, their journey, because they have to be on their journey. Whatever that journey is, allow them to be on that journey. And, one of the biggest things that I have to work on in this physical plane for my soul's growth and expansion is allowing others to be on their journey. Even if it's a journey that I think that they're self-destructing, even if it's that journey, I have to allow it. My lesson in this life for my soul's expansion and growth, one of the biggest lessons is to allow others to be on their journey, even if I think that they're self-destructing, because God has the bigger picture. God will take care of everything the way it should. That's not my job. That's not our individual job. Our individual's job is not to change others. It's to change ourselves. And by that natural, organic changing of ourselves, we change and influence others around ourselves. Change always happens inside out. It doesn't happen outside in. It happens inside out. So we forgive them. We have compassion for that other person. We love them. And that energy it creates a beautiful sacred space between you and the other person. We want to create that beautiful, loving energy. And we want to, we just want to visualize that beautiful energy, just that loving energy, that forgiving energy, just going through the cord, just going through that cord. That's how you visualize it. We have this energetic cord between the two people, and we visualize the forgiveness, the compassion, the love. We visualize it and we send it to that other person. So, that makes sense. Clear with forgiveness and loving self before cord breaking. Yes, absolutely. So does anybody in this room currently have a toxic relationship that they feel that you want to make an energetic cord break? Does anybody have a person in mind or persons in mind that you have that you think you want to make an energetic cord break, share it with us. And also, if you have a question about anything, it doesn't even have to be about energetic cord break. It could be about any other topic. Ask. That's why I'm going live. I'm here live to answer questions. Okay, Maria, I deal with a lot of guilt if I do not help my sisters, even when they don't ask for me. Since I am the oldest, I promised my mom to always look out for my sister, but it's hard at times. Maria, yes. Oh, M retrograde process. Okay. Okay, Maria, I totally understand. I totally understand. So, what it is, Maria, is you should set some boundaries between your siblings and them. So, that this is where you have to do your own forgiveness work, Maria. This is where, you should do your own forgiveness work. I forgive myself for feeling guilty that I'm not helping my sisters enough, that I feel that I'm not helping my sisters enough. And I have a feeling you are helping them a lot. I have a feeling that you are helping them a lot, but it's that guilt that you're carrying. It's not them, it's really you. So, can you say every single day that I can forgive myself for feeling guilty? Can you say that? Can you say to yourself, I can forgive myself for having this feeling, even though I am doing the best to help them? Can you say, I forgive myself? Can you say that? Can you remind yourself of that every single day? And because when you can do that, you can really start to have very clean boundaries of what you will do for them and what you will not do for them. We all need boundaries. Why? Why is it so important that we have boundaries with our family and friends? The reason why that is so critical is because if you don't set boundaries and you are doing everything for everyone and nothing for yourself, you are going to become ragged. And when you become ragged and you become lethargic and you have no energy, you will be of no use to yourself or to anybody else. So, in order to stay healthy in here so that you can help other people, you have to set those boundaries. Those boundaries are for the benefit of you and all the people around you. There's no way that you're going to be able to help anybody in your family, your sisters, if you do not set those boundaries. Those boundaries are so that you could show up to life clean and healthy. You could show up to life and clean, healthy. Because if you are unhealthy, you are lethargic, you are drained to the bone, who are you going to help? That's why those boundaries are so important. And you could say, you could say, I forgive myself for feeling guilty that I set those boundaries. These boundaries are for the health of you and the people around you. So, Maria, I hope that can help you. So set those boundaries and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for feeling guilty. Forgive yourself for setting those boundaries. And I'm telling you, those boundaries are very, very important. M. Rodriguez, in process of toxic divorce. Oh my God, M. Rodriguez. Yes. Yes. Do you have any communication with your spouse currently? Oh, probably because you're in the middle of a divorce. Yes. So there's still probably. So M. Rodriguez, I would do this meditation. Do the meditation. Go. I don't know if you got a chance to do the meditation. So do the meditation. Let me see what else. I can relate to that, Maria, being the firstborn. Yes. Kim says she could relate to Maria. Lucy, my twin flame that is in another relationship. Oh, Lucy. Lucy, you met a twin flame that is in another relationship. Yes, yes. Uh, that is so, oh my God. Okay, Lucy, this is what I want to say to you. This is what I want to say to you. Because if you met your twin flame, that is pretty awesome that you felt like you met your twin flame. By the virtue of you meeting your twin flame is a miracle, because most people, most of us don't even get to meet our twin flame. So this is what you do is, you know what, the divine, the universe is so powerful, so infinitely powerful, infinite wise, infinitely loving, can make all things happen. And the way I approach those types of situations is, you know what, if it was truly meant to be, you will be together no matter what you think are obstacles. So whatever, even if the person is in another relationship, if you are meant to be together, you will be together. So your power is in the ability to allow things as they are, the ability to surrender and release to the infinite wisdom of God and the divine. Because let me tell you, if you are if you are meant to be together, you will be together. It will be orchestrated in a way that it will happen, but you have to surrender and release that, maybe any resistant energy that you feel, like you feel frustrated, you feel, just like this frustration that you're not with your twin flame. That energy should be released, because as you might, if you release that energy, things could happen like this. Or maybe you think it's your twin flame, but maybe it's more like your soulmate. You can have different soulmates. You can have more than one soulmates. Twin flame, it's usually just one, because you're literally sharing that energy, that one energy, right? With soulmates, it's like people that you have met in your past lives. That's what you call soulmate. And so, maybe even if it doesn't work out with this twin flame, if you allow that resistant energy to be released, that maybe you feel frustrated, then what God will do is introduce you to somebody like that. But it's in holding that resistant energy of frustration that blocks the flow of somebody else coming into your experience. And I think you recognize that, Lucy. So your power is in letting go. That's your power. Your power is in allowing that person to live their life the way they should. And the decisions that they make, allow them to make those decisions, and allow and surrender and release and have faith in the infinite wisdom of the universe. Surrender your energy to the universe. And that's where your power is. And I'm telling you, you're going to meet somebody like that in 2 seconds. Once you do that, now you've made space energetically for another person to come in, Lucy. So I hope that helped you. Blame me for his misfortunes. Oh, Lucy. Yeah. Again, forgive yourself, because you might feel some of that guilt, and forgive him for blaming you. But the most important thing is that you forgive yourself, that you feel like there's some blame that caused this, some toxicity in the relationship. You have to forgive yourself first before you could forgive him. So that's a really, but I'm telling you, the power to surrender and release his energy and allow the divine to let him go about his life the way it should. And if you guys are truly meant to be, it will come into your experience. But if not, then I'm telling you, the universe will bring somebody else right in like that. It could happen like that. The only reason why it never happens instantaneously, it doesn't happen quickly, is because we haven't truly let go. And in not truly letting go, we create that resistant energy and we create the block. And so that new person can't come in, but that new person can come in like this. I mean, my business partner, Jen, She got a divorce, and literally she just told the divine and the universe, I'm just going to follow you. You just lead the way. And literally she met her fiance like that. You know, she was in a relationship and marriage for 14 years. And as soon as she let it go and she told the universe, I'm just going to follow you, guide me, I'm letting it all go. She did. And her fiance came in like this, so naturally, so organically. So it could happen like that. I'm telling you, I've seen it in my own life. As soon as I let something go, something else comes in like this. Okay, Lucy? So please remember that. My last workplace, been forgiving myself. This is Tanya. My last workplace, been forgiving myself how I was treated with finances and work ethics. 3 years of that. Yes, Tanya. Yes. Forgive yourself. You know, forgive yourself for feeling that you had to be in that job at that time, you know, that, you know, you felt that maybe you weren't good enough or you weren't worthy. You know, they made you feel not worthy. And so forgive yourself and forgive the people at your job, at your workplace, for making you feel that you weren't worthy enough to them. So that's important. But yes, you know, it could be, yeah. I mean, these toxic relationships happen everywhere, workplace, family, friends. Stephanie, yes, I learned that the hard way. You have to know when to care for yourself. Put yourself first, even if it feels wrong. That's right. That's right. Put yourself first, because if you can't show up to life clean, then you have no chance of helping others. Pele, thank you so much for your advice. You're welcome. Maria, you're welcome. You're welcome, Maria. Okay, great, Lucy. I will surrender to the universe. Yes. You know, hi, Mako. I'm glad to see you today at work today, Mako. The technology worked today. Can you believe that? Let go and surrender to the universe. Blissful life. I love your name, Blissful Life. So I will, yes, Lucy, you was, yes. You know, I have this mantra, one of my favorite mantras that I say all the time. The more I let go, the more I receive. The more I let go, the more I receive. And it happens all the time. You have no idea the things that just pop in my life. As soon as I let go of, I mean, I said in 2020, I had 3 business partners, literally 3 business partners. And every single one of those business partners fell on my lap. As soon as I let go of one business partner, and that business partner, the first business partner came to me because I had known her from like 7 or 8 years ago. She fell on my lap. And I realized that she wasn't the right business partner. So I let her go. Then the second business partner fell on my lap again because he had seen one of my videos. And he wasn't quite ready to do what I wanted to do, because I wanted to do this mobile app. And he wasn't quite ready to do it. So I told him that I had to let him go. I let him go. And as soon as I let him go, my third business partner came in. Again, I didn't search. I mean, we met at an online spiritual retreat that we were both invited to. Can you believe that? Because of the pandemic, this retreat happened online. And she's living in Europe, and I'm in. So we created this company, you know, virtually without having met. And she just fell on my lap because I had let go of all those previous person. I let go of my first business partner. I let go of my second business partner, and then my third business partner. And now we're going full speed. It's incredible. And I didn't have to take any action to find these people. They all dropped on my lap. This is the power of letting go. The power of letting go is because you know what it is? When you let go, you are releasing resistant energy. And the universe, because the universe knows how to make it all happen. We don't have to know how to make it happen. The universe knows how to make it happen. So by letting it go, we're allowing the universe that wants to send us people, that wants to send us money, that wants to send us relationships. We're allowing those things to now come in. That's why all we need to do is let go. Really, that is all you really need to do. That is your power, is in letting go. It is so powerful. I have, I can tell you so many stories. As soon as I let something go, the universe just showed me like that in 2 seconds. I mean, literally, it's so powerful. Finally working. Yes, Mako. Yes, I know. I feel so energized today. I feel so, you know why? Because I was able to meditate before this session. Like I did a meditation early in the morning at 5 a.m., like for like 45 minutes. But usually when I go live, I like to do a 10 to 15-minute meditation to speak to the divine, speak to spirit guides, to ask them to please send me the messages and use me as a conduit to send those messages out to you that you need to hear. So that's why it worked today. It worked. Yes. Oh, you like that? Great mantra. Yeah. The more I let go, the more I receive. The more I let go, the more I receive. Thank you for sending the angled messages. You're welcome. A lovely. Hi, Sarah. Okay, so going back on this energetic cord break, I want to talk about a couple of other things. Okay, Azure Muse. How do you let go when the person you need to let go is your only adult child and they won't stop bringing you their drama, no matter how many times you ask them not to? Wow, that's a really, really good question. How do you let go of an adult child, because it is your child, and they keep bringing drama to you? You are going to let go energetically. You're not necessarily going to let go physically because they are, I mean, you could, if that's a choice that you can make that choice to let them go physically, meaning that you're not going to have any communication with them via email, text, you're not going to see them, right? But it sounds like that's not what you want. Who wants to have a physical break with their child, right? Nobody does. No loving parent wants to make a real physical break with their loved ones, especially a child, right? Your child is everything. I understand that. What you're going to do is you're going to make more of an energetic break. That takes inner work here. That takes practice in here. That you are going to allow them, because what happens is that the more you could just allow them to be who they are, whatever that path might be. I always say children are not for us to possess. Children are a product of the divine light. And you were the conduit by which that divine light came out. That's what, when we give birth, it's not our children are not our possessions. They are a divine light that we helped to usher out into the universe. And so it's not our job to dictate, especially an adult child, because now they're an adult, right? It's not our job to dictate, what they should be doing or even necessarily giving them advice. So when they bring your drama, Azure Muse, the best thing is to, and this takes practice, is to internally have just have a visualization. When they bring that drama to you, just close your eyes. And as they're speaking, like, what I would do is close my eyes and I would just send them loving energy. Say, I forgive myself for feeling stressed right now. I forgive myself for feeling stressed. I love myself. And then as soon as you kind of forgive yourself for feeling that stress, like, I don't want to hear this drama, drama is causing me angst. You can even say, I forgive myself for feeling this angst, this stress, this anxiety of listening to this drama. And as soon as your energy starts to slow a little bit, you find that inner peace, inner compassion, inner forgiveness, then you can start sending that person light, beautiful light of love and compassion, and say to that person, I forgive you for having so much drama in your life. I forgive you for bringing that drama into this home. I forgive you for whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then as you start sending this energy to that person, to your child, they could do two things. They can either start to feel that energy and they will calm down and they will bring less drama to you, or they won't receive it, in which case you just have to allow them to be on their journey. But I guarantee I'm almost certain that if you start sending them that unconditional light of love, but that space, you have to come in with that space yourself, because you cannot give what you do not have. I bet you if you start sending that unconditional love and light, because now you're not feeling so angst. The reason why that drama keeps coming to you is because you keep feeling angst when that drama comes. It's like, and the more angst you feel, the more that drama is coming because you're drawing it in. So you want to really, really come clean first, forgive yourself, and then send them that light of love and compassion and forgiveness. And I have a feeling that that person will show up with less drama. You know, one time I had this woman in my Facebook group, her name was B, and she had such a toxic relationship with her mother. It was so toxic her whole life. And she says now she's got rash all over her skin. And she's had this rash for some years now because this toxic relationship with her mother gave her so much stress. And I told her to do this, to just listen. Don't even, like if they're talking about their drama, don't even react. Don't even say anything back. Just sit still and just allow them to say whatever they need to say. And then go into a space where you forgive yourself and then send them that forgiving light. And you know what B said? For the first time when she had a conversation with her mother, she didn't say anything. She allowed her mother to say whatever her mother was going to say. And for the first time, she sat quiet. She didn't say anything. And do you know, she said her mother's energy calmed down. Her mother's energy calmed down because it's all energy. Everything's connected. So if this person's saying blah, 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 and giving you drama and you're going back like this, you're like reacting like this, blah, 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 blah. All that is there's this energy of chaos going around that's being exchanged between the two of you. So if this person's going blah, 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 and you start calming your energy, now this side is calm, this side will have influence. It will start to have influence. It cannot not have influence because it's all connected. So the only possibility of changing your child's behavior is by changing your behavior, changing your energy. That is the best possibility. And allow them to be who they are. If they want to be this toxic person, then, you stay strong, you stay calm, you stay steady with your faith and your energy of forgiveness, understanding, compassion. And Azure Muse, I am sure that your child is teaching you some great lesson for your soul's expansion and growth. And that might be another exercise for you to do, is say, what is my child teaching me? What is the greatest lesson? What are some of the greatest lessons my child is teaching me when my child keeps showing up with this drama? Is it a lesson of patience? Is it a lesson of allowance? So Your child is your greatest teacher. It's angel messages. Yes. Yeah, I know. I love messages from my spirit angels. And okay, Ann Taylor, whenever I let go of bad relationships, everything opens up for me. But then I go into another toxic environment. How do you stop the repeat scenarios? This is a really, really, really good question. So, these patterns show up because you haven't really made that internal change. You haven't really let go of something that you need to let go. Because everything happens inside out, and the universe, the outer world experiences that you have, whether it's in money, relationships, career, business, anything, is a reflection of your inner world. You know, Tony Robbins, I'm sure many of you know Tony Robbins. He says, I guarantee you, every person in this room, and you know, he speaks in front of thousands of people. He says, I guarantee you, every single person in this room has the amount of money they believe that they think they should have. What does that mean? It means that your outer world manifestations, whether it's career, job, money, relationships, is a reflection of your internal world, right? So when you have that repeat toxic relationship coming into your life, that pattern, and I trust me, I have had patterns in my outer world experiences that I did not want to desire. I kept seeing those same patterns come up in my life. And at one point, I was so distressed about this that I went to see an NLP coach, a neuro linguistic programming coach, and I was sobbing, saying that I keep seeing these patterns happen in my life over and over and over again. Why? It means that you haven't quite made that real internal release. Maybe it's something subconscious that you're still holding on to. There are blocks that you're holding on to subconsciously. So this is the reason why, Anne. So what, Anne, be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself. Don't be frustrated with yourself, because internal change is a process. It's about the process. It's about the journey. It's not about the destination, because we are eternal souls. We are eternal souls. So it's always about the process. It's never about the destination. So, and that is what you have to work on in here. You have to work on that internal change. Forget about the people externally. It's the internal work. Do you have a subconscious coach that you could see, do meditations, maybe record your voice on a recorder, and every night, like, say, I forgive myself of feeling, blame. I forgive myself of feeling guilty. I forgive myself of feeling blame. I forgive myself of not feeling unconditionally worthy. I forgive myself of not being unconditionally loved. Have a set of things where you forgive yourself, and then record it, and then listen to it every single night before you go to bed, because then it's going to start to seep into your subconscious mind. And as you go, when you go through, doing it right before bedtime is the best time, because it's going right into your subconscious mind. And when you're dreaming, it's going to start seeping in. So you have to do the internal work yourself. And that's why you keep seeing these patterns. You say, I let go of these relationships, but you haven't quite let it go energetically. It's still there. There's energetic remnants. That's why I talked about the energetic cord break. But do the internal work, and also do the energetic cord break with the other person. Okay, Azure Moose, I hope that helps you. Mako, I'm sorry, so somehow go out of the theme, but I need to make some questions, please. I am a student. I had how to have more willpower to study more and not to be lazy. Okay. Okay, Mako, you want to have more willpower and not be lazy. Okay. this is, another, I'm going to quote Tony Robbins again. He says, you know what? Nobody is lazy. They're not motivated. There's a difference between being lazy and being motivated. Humans are not lazy. They're not motivated. Now, if you are studying something that you are really interested in, right? A subject matter that you love, you will not be lazy. You will put 120% into it. You will absorb yourself into that subject matter. So it's about pursuing the things that you are interested in. That is the key. Because if you pursue the things that you love and interested in, not because society says that you have to study this in order to get this good job, it's pursuing your soul's path, your unique soul's path of why you are here, what the light wants you to, what light you should be shining out into the universe. What light should you be shining out into the universe? In what way are you going to serve humanity? Everybody has a different path in how they are going to serve humanity, and everybody has an interest that allows them to serve humanity. Some people can be a beautiful artist, and that's how they're going to serve humanity, because, their talents and gifts and their soul's path is to be this create beautiful artwork that resonates with people. Some people, their path is to be a teacher, a school teacher. Some people, it's their path to be an engineer, right? We need engineers on this planet, right? We need them to solve a lot of problems, right? Some people, it's going to be their path to become a doctor, right? We need doctors on this planet. So it's finding what you are really interested in. And once you are interested in something and you have a passion, you will be focused. You will be focused. It's that maybe you're studying something that you are not quite into. Okay, so ask another question, Mako. He has, okay, Azure Moose. He has a toxic partner. It's horrible to watch. Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, it is horrible to watch Azure Muse. But, again, it's not our job to change others. It's our job to change ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we change the outer world experiences that we meet. Yeah, great. You're welcome, Azure Muse. The super powerful, blissful life. You're welcome. Hi, Mariah. I'm afraid of this life because of severe social anxiety. When I'm around people, I can't breathe and I'd feel physically uncomfortable. I isolate myself and tell the divine to take me away. Wow. Wow, Mariah. This is a very, very, I don't want to be flippant about this issue. Wow, this is a very, very deep one. And you know what? I actually had a couple of people in my Facebook group that have very, very high level of social anxiety. Mariah, I don't know. Have you done any hypnotherapy, like past life regression hypnotherapy? Because sometimes that severe anxiety, I'm going to suggest a book for you. It's by Brian Weiss. It's called Many Masters, Many Lives. There's nothing, I just want to tell you, Mariah, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you. You are a beautiful being. If you feel that your severe social anxiety makes you a freak, you are not a freak. You are a beautiful, beautiful person that has a light to shine in the world. And that doesn't mean that you have to be in a party to make a difference. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a society to make a difference. There's so many ways that you can make a difference in the world. But sometimes when I found that people have this, severe anxiety, anxiety to me comes from fear and trauma. So sometimes I have spurts of anxiety now, and I attribute some of those anxiety to my traumatic childhood, because I lived in fear every day of my life as a child. And so I still have some of that fear in my subconscious mind. And so when certain situations happen, it triggers that anxiety. And for you, Mariah, you're saying it's very severe. I understand. But all anxiety is happening because of some fear, trauma, right? And we're holding on to that fear and trauma. And for some people, that trauma may be huge. It might have been something from this life, or it could have been something in a past life. This is why I suggest you read that book, Brian Weiss, Many Masters, Many Lives, because what happened was he had a 28-year-old patient. Brian Weiss was a PhD psychotherapist running a big hospital in Florida. And this was in the 1970s. He met a woman named Catherine. She was 28 years old, and she had the highest level of anxiety that you can imagine. It was so extreme. And he didn't know what to do, and so he decided to try hypnotherapy on her. And she was hypnotized like that. She was easily hypnotizable, if that's a word. And when she went into hypnosis, she started to recall all of her past lives. And he knew for sure that they were past lives because she had such specific details, and she started speaking different languages. He knew for sure that she was recalling her past lives. And so she had different traumas during her past lives. Like one past life, she could have, maybe she was raped. And so because what happens is we're this eternal soul and consciousness, right? Even though our physical form goes, are in that the eternal soul, spirit consciousness remains. And so it carries that information from your past lives or from your ancestor. That information is carried. So if you're carrying tremendous trauma from some past life and you come born into another life, unless you have let go of that trauma is going to affect you in some ways. So Mariah, look into hypnosis and past life. Do you know why? Do you know what triggers your anxiety? You said social anxiety, right? When you're around people. And maybe something happened in your past life where you were around people and something traumatic happened. And so maybe, you were like, maybe, I don't know, it could be anything where you were around people and some deep trauma happened to you. And now you are carrying that. So that's why when you are around people, you feel very uncomfortable. You feel fearful. You feel anxiety. You can't take people because maybe something happened to you where there was a bunch of people around you and something traumatic happened. So read that book, Mariah. Read that book and see if it resonates with you. Okay, you were told by a homeopath not to try energy work now because it triggers physical symptoms such as anxiety, dizziness, and fainting. But thank you, Moon. I would purchase a book. Okay, right. Okay, that may be true. However, it depends on the energy worker. It depends on the energy practitioner. Every energy practitioner is at different level. It's at different level. There could be an energy practitioner that can actually help you to release those traumas that are causing the anxieties. So I would say, yes, what the homeopath can say can be true. However, it depends on the energy practitioner. If you have the right energy practitioner, that practitioner could help you. It's like, but it has to be the right one. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I wouldn't totally release energy medicine. I would just be very cautious. I would just be very mindful of the energy practitioner and at what level there are, because there are very, very good energy practitioners out there. Okay, Mako, can we change? I think we can somehow, but can we change people? I think we can somehow, but does it get so long? After a problem in my family, my father started smoking, not being like interested to us work or progress, and very rude with us. Uh, no, you're not going to be able to change your father. That's not your job, Mako. Your job is never to change your father. Your job is never to change anybody outside of you. The reason why you have a father that you have is because the light, the divine, God, the universe wants you to learn a lesson from your father. Your father, the difficult people in your lives are the greatest teachers. They're your greatest teachers for your soul's expansion and growth. So instead of being resistant to it, think about what lessons are you learning from your father? What internal change do you need to make in here that doesn't allow those people to make you feel so crappy? Our job here in this physical plane is to have these physical experiences and have difficult people in our lives so we can learn lessons for the expansion and growth of our soul. We're trying to, that is the main goal of why we're here. We're on a spiritual journey. The physical path and all of the physical experiences that we have here is to learn lessons for our spiritual growth. So all of the difficult people in our lives, they are our greatest teachers. They are our greatest teachers. So let's shift the mindset. It's not about changing others. It's never about changing them. It's only about changing here. And when you change here, the people around you, they're going to do two things. They're going to start to behave differently, or they're going to show up less, or they're not going to show up at all. That's what's going to happen. When you start to make that internal change here, they're going to either show up differently, or they're going to start showing up less, or they're not going to show up at all. You can never, I mean, good luck trying to change other people. Good luck. When was the last time that you tried to change somebody and they actually changed? It has never happened in my life. It has never happened in my life. Okay, Mako. So your family is your greatest teacher. M. Strafa. I live and take care of my father with my very toxic sister and nephew. I am trying my best to keep positive, but there are so many unresolved triggers with them that I think I am going to blow any day. Yes, Ms. Strafa, get yourself a coach, a therapist, an energy healer. You've got to do the inner work. You've got to do the inner work. You have to have the tools to be able to show up in that situation with the highest version of yourself. That's internal work. I would suggest get the right therapist or the energy healer or the right people in your life, or maybe it's somebody, maybe it's a community leader or somebody to get some therapy to help you see things differently and to shift your own energy, because you're never going to be, it's not about changing your father, your toxic sister, or your nephew. Do meditation, do the inner work, keep doing that inner work, and find the support that you need to make that inner change energetically. Because as you start making that change in here, your family is either going to show up differently, start to show up differently, or they're going to show up less, or they're going to start disappearing. But it's in here. So get the support that you need, whether it's a psychotherapist, an energy healer, or a mentor, or somebody in your community. Maybe it's a spiritual leader. Find somebody that could help you be accountable for yourself. Okay, Ms. Strafa, because it's not about you changing your father. It's not changing your sister or your nephew. It's not about that. Okay, all Brian White's books, amazing and part of my soul's journey. Yeah. That was a beautiful book. I never forget Many Masters, Many Lives. It's a great book. I usually study Mako. I know that it's a bit too personal, but I really need any advice. What to do to bring positive vibes to dad, or maybe make him more caring for the family or the future? Mako, again, it's not about changing anybody. It's about changing your internal self. Because every time you try to change somebody outside of you, you're going to be only meet with resistant energy. They're not going to change. The change is within you. And as you change yourself, the people around you, the situations around you will start to change. So if you keep looking outward and you keep asking other people to change, it's not going to happen. That's not fundamental change. The root change is within you. And by changing within you, the people around you will start to change. They will show up differently, or they will not. They will show up less, or they will show up not at all. So Mako, I love you. I love you. But please understand that it's never about changing the people outside of you. That's like putting a Band-Aid. You know, when you're sick, you put a Band-Aid on you. That's a superficial change. The root, you have to get to the root cause. If you have a health problem, you have to get to the root cause of the problem, right? You can't just put a Band-Aid. Well, you're trying to change other people is putting a Band-Aid. That's not taking care of the root. You've got to take care of the root, right? In order to have the weeds not grow anymore, you can't just pull out the leaves of the weeds, right? You got to pull out that root of the weeds so that the weed doesn't grow anymore, right? Well, if you want things to change in your life, for people to show up differently, that means you have to show up differently. You know, my business partner, Jen, she gave me a beautiful quote. She says, be thankful for your triggers because they point to what you are not free. Let me repeat this. Beautiful quote. Be thankful for your triggers because they point to where you are not free. Wow. That means when you are triggered by a situation because you have toxic people, family, friends, whatever, it's showing the universe. That's the universe's way of showing what you need to work on inside, where you're not free. Because let me tell you, if you were free in here, whatever that situation is out there, you wouldn't be triggered. The trigger is the universe's way of saying, what is it in here that I have to work on? What is it in here that I have to work on? So let me repeat this again. Be thankful for your triggers because it points to where you are not free. Okay, remember that. Be thankful for your triggers because that is the way the universe shows what you have to work on. Okay, thanks, Tanya, for joining. And we'll listen to, okay, great. And let me know the next time I go live, let me know. Have a lovely weekend. You too. Kim, Shift by Wayne Dyer is one of my favorite movies that support my journey. Oh, that's wonderful. God bless Wayne Dyer's soul. I mean, he's still here with us in a conscious way, in a spiritual way, even though he's not here in a physical way. They are always, you know, Louise Hay, who passed away a couple of years ago. I always say she's like my mentor, my spiritual teacher. She's like my godmother, even though I never met her, but I know her energy consciousness is still right here with us. Louise Hay. I love her. I love her. My business partner and I made a metaphysical board of advisors of all the people that we want as advisors metaphysically. So we put in Louise Hay, we put in Marianne Williamson, we put in, I think, Mother Teresa, we put in Gandhi. I think we put in Martin Luther King. Okay, so this has been it's 10:02. Okay, so I just want to say thank you so much for showing up and for your amazing questions. Amazing questions that you guys all have contributed to. I know that this is a journey that we are in together for expansion and growth of our soul. So let's close out with a prayer, to the divine and to our spirit guides for thanking us for bringing us together. Okay, so let's close out. Dear God, dear spirit guides, dear angels, dear divine, dear ancestors, thank you so much for bringing us together during this live session. And thank you so much for allowing the technology to work. We are so blessed that you are sending us continuously all messages that guide us and support us for our highest good, to be on our soul's path and to be the highest version of ourselves. We are so grateful that you can allow us to surrender and let go of all fear, all doubt, all worries, all blame to you, knowing that you have infinite wisdom, infinite love, infinite support for us, and that you're always sending us messages for our highest good. So thank you for allowing us to surrender and release to your infinite power, God and divine in the universe. We are so grateful for this opportunity to be fully present in the now, to share and exchange beautiful energies that serve our highest good and to serve the highest good of our humanity. We know that we have come here as a light and as a conduit for your work, God, the work of serving our humanity for our soul's expansion and growth, and for the expansion and growth of this universe, which is eternally growing and expanding. We know that we have come into this physical plane to learn so many lessons for a spiritual journey. And we are grateful that you have awakened us to this journey of our spirituality, the truth of who we really are, which is an infinite light of love that we will shine out into the universe so we can serve our humanity, our planet, and the universe, and you, God. We thank you for allowing us to get closer to you, closer to the light, closer to you, the creator, so that we can expand ourselves and the universe eternally. And we are so grateful for today, this beautiful day, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening. And we intend to move through the rest of the day with such flow, ease, peace, and serenity. So we thank you for continuing to awaken us and be closer to the light. And that is what we're here for, is to be on this physical journey so that we can get a little bit closer to the light every day, each day. So we thank you so much, God divine, our spirit guides, our ancestors and masters, for being here with us and always protecting us, supporting us, and loving us unconditionally. And so it be. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. You guys are such beautiful souls. And I will be coming on live every month to answer questions, so ask me any questions in the future. I love you all, and much blessings. Bye.